Since 2023, I've been building different sources of income online, and today I want to share with you what these sources of income are and how I make a living from that, working on average 4 hours a day, 4 days a week. I don't actually count Friday as a working day because I only do admin stuff and emails. As a digital product seller, you can absolutely do the same. You don't need a big team, a huge audience, or to spend a lot of money on ads. You just need a sustainable system that works. In this video, I'll be sharing with you how you can start implementing this system, start earning through multiple sources of income from one big effort. First, I want to share with you my income breakdown for the month of April, and that came from multiple sources of income, so you can have an idea of how many ways you can earn online. And just a quick disclaimer here, this looks different for me every single month. This is actually something that I'm still learning how to navigate it, because I used to get the exact same amount working for the NHS, and now every month is different. So just a quick disclaimer here, it really depends on where you put your focus on. My highest income for the month of April actually came from my online courses. That accounts 63% of my income this month. Second place on this list came from sponsorships. So whenever I mention a brand or my videos or my newsletter, I get paid, and that accounted for 25% of my revenue this month too. I also have my own website where people can go and buy my templates, and that's completely passive. So that generated 7.9% of my income. Even though I started selling my digital products on Etsy, I don't actively work on my Etsy shop at all, but it's still up there and it still generates passive income. So that generated 2.4% of my income this month. And if you'd like to know why I quit Etsy and why I don't really spend time there anymore, you can go ahead and watch this video. Affiliate links contributed with tiny little 1% of my income this month. This is something that I didn't promoted anything really. I didn't actively promote any affiliate links. They are on my video description or my courses. I have a page on my website, but it's something completely passive. So can you see all the possibilities here? There are so many ways to earn revenue online. And obviously I didn't start with all these sources of income. I actually started just selling templates on Etsy, and then I started building my ecosystem over time. But I almost messed up because I was trying to do every single thing at the same time. And I knew if I was continuing to do that, it was going to burn me out. And that's when I realized that I needed to create a sustainable system to work smarter and not harder. Because if I wanted freedom and flexibility, I needed a system that worked for me even when I was not actively working on it. This month, I intentionally focused on online courses because I launched a brand new mini course, the Video Starter Kit, and that's where my energy was at. That's why that represented 63% of my income. I didn't use any ads, I didn't spend time promoting templates or created any templates or spend time on my Etsy shop. And even though my energy was focused on promoting the Video Starter Kit, all the other programs, all the other digital products that I have, they continued selling on the back end because I already have systems for that. So you might be asking yourself, how did you continue to get multiple streams of income if you were focused on only one thing? That happens because I connected everything in one system, and that's why I like to call the aligned system. And that's the reason why I've been able to stay consistent on my business even when I was working full time, and now that I only have a very small team. I know most people will probably stop watching the video now that I shared the sources of income, because we might assume that we already know, but that's not enough to run a successful business on the long term. And missing this part is probably why you don't get results and you end up giving up and thinking that that doesn't work. Because it's not just about knowing the how-to, it's also about how to create a system to implement it sustainably and consistently. So let me quickly share my journey with you and give you the first step so you can start moving forward. Some moments just hit you so hard that you just know that things cannot stay the same. And that's exactly what happened to me after working so many years in the hospital. I was constantly exhausted, I was always struggling about money, and I never had time, energy, or money to do things that I wanted. In one specific night shift, I had my I'm done moment. I was doing a night shift, and that was my 4th night shift in a row without proper sleep, super stressed, and with the emergency department absolutely crazy. And I remember it was about 3 a.m. in the morning, and my patients just fall asleep, and I was just reflecting about my life and how badly I wanted to change the situation and have options, because I didn't have any other option. I had my bills to pay, I live abroad, I have no family around me, so I just didn't have a choice. And I was just standing there and looking at my patients, but I couldn't imagine myself doing that for the next 20, 30 years. I was really craving more flexibility, a place where I could express myself, create things, have more fun, and also help people, because service is one of my biggest values. It's something that makes me feel fulfilled, and that's why I actually started my career in healthcare. But I wanted something that I could help serve people, but that I didn't have to sacrifice my own health. We all have these moments, we just keep living on autopilot, and then one moment you just realize, no, I cannot do this for the next 30 years. I have to do something different, and I'm willing to do something different. And for me, that was that moment. The first step to start this journey is to have a clear vision on how do you want your life to look like, your day-to-day, your routine, and then think about what can you create to support that vision. So you really need to ask yourself what your priorities are, what is your purpose, what is fulfilling to you, what makes you happy. My priorities were having more time flexibility and more freedom, be able to take time off whenever I needed to, have space to express my creativity and my ideas, and also be able to make an impact and serve people in a way that didn't sacrifice my health, or in a way that I didn't have to work more hours. The first step is deciding how does that look like for you, and then building your online business and sources of income around that. And just a quick disclaimer here, I am not uniquely talented or special in any way, shape or form. I actually didn't have the skills. I didn't know what to do, but that night shift was when I made the decision that I was going to figure it out, that I was going to learn, and I'm just going to do what it takes within integrity to create the life that I want to live. I only have this one little life, and I don't want to get to the end of it feeling regret because I didn't give myself a chance. So I had a piece of paper in hand, and I just started writing so many ideas, so many things I could create online, a blog, a YouTube channel, a template, so many things. And I remember that I wrote Notion templates, and that was really pulling my attention. Notion templates were the ones that really got me more excited. So that's why I started there. I was not an expert in Notion, I was not certified, but I was determined to make it work. I put a lot of energy on that, and I really focused, and that's how I made my first $10,000 selling my own digital products in my first year. It wasn't just about the money at the time, it gave me hope and helped me build my confidence that I was capable of making money outside my job. So decide what your priorities are, start building multiple sources of income around that, and stay focused and don't fall for every opportunity that comes up. So let's finally talk about the Align system and how you can implement that to make money from very different sources from one effort. And that's where most digital sellers skip, and that's why they give up, because they don't have a system and they are just all over the place. And I know because I was there as well. And when you have a system, it's just so much easier and you just know exactly what to do. Most digital product sellers, they skip this critical piece, and that's why they end up burning themselves out on social media, trying too many different things, getting exhausted and not getting any decent results anywhere. When I started implementing the system, it gave me the power to sell my products without being salesy, launch multiple income sources from one effort, also open doors to so many opportunities. So what exactly is the Align system? It's creating one thing that will feed all your sources of income from this one effort. Instead of having different systems to feed each income stream, I have one engine that feeds everything else on autopilot. And this engine is strategic content on YouTube. And I know you might be thinking, oh my God, another person telling me to start a YouTube channel. But this is not just about having a channel. This is about creating a strategic and sustainable content system that is going to feed all your sources of income every time you post. And here's why this completely transformed my business. I only publish one video a week, and this video I can repurpose in all my other platforms with the help of my virtual assistant. Each time I publish a video, it activates all my other sources of income in a very non-salesy way. So let me show you a real example. I have a video on my channel about how to sell Notion templates on Etsy. In the video, I share my workflow, my process, what I've learned, and that builds trust and authority because I walked the path that they want to walk. I also mention any templates that can make their lives easier. In this case, I mentioned my Etsy shop template that might be useful for them. Some people might go to my website and buy the template. I also mention tools that I use on my business, for example, FREEBIE, that I use for market research, where you can find product ideas, you can find trends, you can research keywords and see what products are actively selling. Because you are also becoming more visible, that might attract brands and sponsorships as well. It also grows my email list and attracts high-value clients to my programs. So that one video keeps feeding all these other sources of income for weeks, months, and even years. But most solopreneurs, they stay stuck on this single stream thinking that really limits their growth. If you are just selling on Etsy or on Creative Market, for example, You have to compete on price, not on the real value that you offer. The platform controls your visibility. They can even shut down your shop at any time. You don't build real relationships with your customers, so you need to keep chasing sales. And you will be relying on just one source of income instead of 5. And I know you might be thinking, but YouTube takes too much time, it's too hard. But honestly, think about how much time you spend on Instagram, scrolling on stories, or even on YouTube consuming other people's content when you could be creating your own and monetizing from it. I record my long-form content in 2 days for the entire month. After that, my content comes into the Align system, and that's how is it possible for me to work only 4 hours a day and still make income from all these different sources. Now, if you want to skip the guesswork and start your YouTube channel with my 5-video sales system, go ahead and check the video starter kit. I also share how I overcame my fear of being seen online and how I started my channel, and my step-by-step process to go from idea to publishing a video that is gonna feed all your sources of income on autopilot. And don't forget to comment below, what is the reason why you want to have multiple sources of income? I'm so curious to know. If you are like me and you love design, love Notion, love spending time in Canva, and you are thinking about creating an extra source of income with templates, go ahead and watch this video next, because I'll show you the step-by-step to launch your first template and make your first sale. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!